Oh, hello there, people of the internet. My name's Scythe, and I bet you've been wondering, what's in my little hat? Well, here, let me show you.
Daddy? Dad.
That's weird. What's up, dudes and dudes of the internet? My name's Scythe, and we are back together Trove on the PS4. How are you all doing, you old goat? Aha! I hope that's not secretly like really offensive for those of you that are actually in the Britain Londonese. I'm terrible at it, but how y'all doing today, folks? Hope you're doing great. Hope this video makes your day even better. So let's just get started with this. Bloop, Scully, Mulder and Scully, get it? I think that actually might be one of the last mounts that we actually need. Let's actually unlock this guy right here. Don't worry, in a minute I'll explain. Hello, it's Simba, whatever. In 2 seconds, I'll show you all of the other beautiful mounts that we actually have in our inventory, but I wanted to show you this one because this is actually a very, very early mount in Trove, and a very beautiful one to say the least. His video effects are very unique, and until they ended up recycling the video effects onto the Brony mount, kind of that trail that's spinning around behind him, Scully was actually one of the only mounts that had this type of video effects. He still kind of is. But anyways, before we get started with all of that, folks, I do want to say that yes, we are still going to be giving away 2 Stream of Dream boxes. So if you want either of them, you're gonna have to hit that like button, leave a comment in the comment section down below with what should we say? Let's just go with what's your favorite class again, because that's always interesting. I like to collect all that information and keep it for myself and see what exactly it is that you think is the best, most popularist characterist in the game. But anyways, we got a whole bunch of other crazy other things going on. Atticus' death did give me that shield ally in the last episode, and well, I don't know who gave me this love seat. It's Atticus again. Atticus gave me the love seat, so let's actually swap over to that. It's a special Valentine's Day gift where it's pooping out hearts. Oh man, seriously, this seat is gross. Like, who cut the cheese? Thanks for that one, buddy. Then, thanks to Broken Angel _Dash, she's given me like all sorts of things. She gave me Mulder. The absolute worst mount in the game. Like, seriously, if you like this mount, there's something wrong with you, and I mean, honestly, you just don't have any taste. He's a gross green, he's all undead and weird, and doesn't really fit with this game, honestly speaking. But then we've also got a whole bunch of caterpillars as well. These are under the Treasure Isles because you actually buy them from the Treasure Isles merchant. So we got the Battle Caterpillar, which took me a very long time to realize this is actually a normal caterpillar, but with armor on it. Oh yeah, it's the most dangerous of all. When these mounts first came out, I remember just sitting there cringing because I was thinking, who in their right mind would actually like the worm mounts? And a lot of people actually did, so the joke's on me, I guess. Then there's also the Rodeo Caterpillar. Oh, what a funny pun. This one's just weird. I don't really understand why it's like a cow caterpillar. He's a caterpillar with horns. I mean, if he could attack, he'd actually be kind of cool, but at the same time, these mounts are really, really gross. Oh, look, it's Simba has the most disgusting mount in the entire game. Man, I wish I had that. I love that mount. That's like the worst mount in the game. Like, look at him. I will destroy your soul. Okay, that's kind of weird to say. Then we've also got the Jelly Knight. This takes me back. I remember when this was first added to the game and I thought, wow, Trove actually has something that is like a generic RPG. And I kept thinking, and everybody kept thinking, that this thing was going to attack in some way, shape, or form, which would have been awesome, but it didn't end up doing that. Then we've also got, oh, there was a Kandorian Caterpillar as well. So far, it's just a mount highlight video today, huh? Oh, look, it's the same worm mount, just this one's see-through and red and green, and is like, I guess it's supposed to be like those gummy worms, right? I guess so. I mean, I wouldn't want to eat it. Then we got Fast Frank. Now this one's very, very dank. I think you're gonna love this one, folks. It's a hot dog with legs. So a million zillion years ago, those of you that have tuned into my Trove series since the Stone Ages will know that very long time ago, I kind of adopted the whole hot dog style to my character, and that's where a lot of my own unofficial Trove lore ended up coming into play. Haven't actually touched upon any of that lore for a very, very long time, even on the PC series, and never touched it on the console version. Maybe today we can explain it a little bit, just to kind of give you all a little bit of my own lore in the game, not necessarily the game's official lore that's coming out very soon. Then we got an SS Corgi. This one was actually donated by All Mystic, which is a boat. Good, because I needed one. And then we've got a Gadget Cat here by Dead Reckoning 147. The Meowth was actually dedicated or given by All Mystic as well. And then there's also a shout out to Blind-Streak 0, gave a bunch of resources, and MJ Moo, M-U-U, gave 10k flux and 200 eyeballs. But first we gotta swap over to the Gadget Cat. Man, I remember when this one came out, it was actually a really big deal because it's actually my favorite of the bouncing mounts. I would definitely say that much, but I'm not really a fan of the bouncing mounts in general, so I never really rock it. But let's actually rock this one today, just because why not? We also, did we have anything else? Okay, no, we don't, but what I'm curious about is how many Meowths do we actually have? Whoopsie daisy, because I'm pretty sure we can craft a bunch of them. We got that one, got that one, got that. No, we don't have this immortal Meowth. Really? I thought somebody actually gave that to me a long time ago. Rip me, let me take a peek at my chest. I mean, I was all but certain I had it, but I guess I didn't get it yet. Maybe I thought that I crafted it or something, but either way, there we go. So, time to swap to another mount, I guess. Screw you, Gadget Cat. No, please don't swap off of me. I love you. Well, I don't love you. Immortal Cat, go. Please get out of this menu, like seriously. Haha! It's a skeletal cat that doesn't really have any video effects. He's still kind of cute though. Looks more like a dog than a cat, but what are you gonna do, right? Well, anyways, let's go into you. We should be able to handle you four, I think. And as far as my lore is concerned in Trove, so what I ended up doing was there's a hot dog costume for the gunslinger. Oh yes, go and grab it as soon as you can, everybody. Oh, we got the Infinidome helmet, cool. Let's actually put that sucker on as well. But anyway, with the hot dog costume, I was kind of rocking that on the gunslinger, and the ongoing joke was, I am the hot dog, right? So I kind of turned that into an ongoing joke with everything, where it was, I am the hot dog, I am the Jub Jub, I am the cat riding guy, and all of that stuff. And the joke kind of ended up petering out just because, you know, it kind of got really old for me, and honestly speaking, I just kind of kept forgetting to actually keep repeating the same joke over and over again, you know what I'm talking about. And, well, the piñatas that are actually thrown, there was a good friend of mine, Lord Scythe, would actually follow me around throwing down piñatas a lot of the time, right? And I would always say, oh, the piñatas are attacking, the piñatas are attacking. So I ended up kind of creating this story where my character, you know, was like a heroic hot dog. There was the Hot Dog Alliance versus the Piñata Assassins. And the Piñata Assassins were always trying to, you know, stop the hot dogs. And then eventually, when the dragons ended up rolling around, I kind of wanted to swap off of the hot dog costume. So I ended up making a mod on the PC version, which was the Dragon Kigurumi. It's like dragon pajamas, right? And the lore aspect that I was saying, you know, the way I was keeping it in roleplay is I was saying that the hot dogs didn't want to get fried and eaten up by the dragons, so they had to dress up like the dragons in the Kigurumi pajamas, right? So I kind of moved on to that and kind of tried to make a couple versions of the mod for most of the classes. I kind of got a little bit uninspired and lazy though, so I didn't end up making Kigurumi costumes for everybody. I know I at least have one for the Draco and the Chloromancer, but needless to say, you could always just wear the helmet, and then I always just made like lots of different costumes for the other characters anyways. But then on top of that, I kind of wanted to fit in some more lore characters. So what I ended up doing was Jub, which is the Xbox Club, is actually, like, Jub is actually Gonda. I call Gonda Jub, and the whole lore of it all was that somehow it all had to end up leading to the evil chickens. Now, the evil chickens, which might seem crazy, was actually something that I had in the works, kind of prepared for my lore story, even before I had the story kind of figured out, like with the Pinata Assassins and everything like that. I had evil chickens sneaking around inside my club world for a very, very long time, right? It's a prop item, you know, the pink little chicken that you actually get from the candy biome. There's that one, and then there's the invisible chicken, like item that you can end up finding. It's just a prop item. But I was using those as evil chickens, right? And it was kind of like, oh, they're like a rare evil that nobody really knows about, very sinister and conniving. And then the whole lore that I ended up kind of having was, oh, the Doge mercenaries showed up in the story because the whole idea about them was the Doge work in numbers because, you know, it's the Doge, like the meme, right? Like they're all over the internet, so there's a lot of them. But they ended up being hired by an unknown force, and since there was so many of the Doge, the Pinata Assassins and the Kigurumi, because that's what the Hot Dog Alliance ended up turning into, was the Dragon Kigurumi, is they actually ended up having to align. They had to make an alliance because the Doge was just way too much for them, right? And then eventually they ended up getting to the bottom of it, where Scythe's character, or kind of like the leader of the Pinata Assassins, as it were, ended up kind of sacrificing himself. Behind the scenes, Scythe just ended up quitting Trove for a little while, and now he still kind of plays it periodically, but he's not really as involved. And then I kind of fitted into the lore that his character ended up getting killed, trying to defend me from the Doge, right? And then anyways, end up getting to the end, finding out that the Doge were actually being mind controlled by an evil chicken, like overlord type of thing, right? And then the only reason that I was able to not succumb to the mind control powers of the evil chicken was because Jub, who in the roleplay was my father, turned out he was like a super evil chicken, but he was a good evil chicken. And he raised my character to be a good evil chicken as well. So my character had hot dog blood, dragon blood, and chicken blood all inside him at once. And yeah, kind of ended up overthrowing the evil chicken overlord because Jub mind controlled him right back to just leave the planet, right? Now, I know that that sounds like a really weird story, but I mean, I wish that that was the official Trove lore instead of whatever they're trying to do with the sun and moon. That's actually not an original story. It's actually a native story or a Native American story that I know from a very long time ago that they're trying to act as something unique. But anyways, thanks so much for watching, everybody. That's all the time that we have for today. Just wanted to kind of give you a little bit of a brief explanation, catch you up onto what the old school PC players were actually going through at the time, because it was kind of like more incentive for pinatas and assassins, and you know, and people could actually join whatever side they want. And now even on the PC version, I don't really push the lore as often, but behind the scenes, there's a lot more characters. You know, there's the there's like the Froge army, right? And they're kind of like a bunch of idiots, pretty much. Merc kind of ended up taking up that one. Then there's the Kate, which is the Kate, you know, search it up. Cat with an E at the end, right? And that's another one that ended up getting taken over by Biscuit Cat. So we kind of just pushed all sorts of different lore stuff, and I wanted to kind of push the lore even more with the Yabaki mount, which those of you that don't know, Gonda actually has an evil twin. So it's kind of like a Shadow Tower version of it, where he's dark, he's evil, and the blocks that he actually creates behind him are purple blocks. That mount has actually been in the code for over a year. You can actually go into the mod code, and people have actually modded Yabaki into like any of the normal legendary birds. But the devs just never ended up getting around to adding it, just as they do with pretty much everything. And well, needless to say, I was trying to push in the lore that thing was gonna end up, you know, he was gonna show up with the mechanical cat army, which, you know, they were just constant, like, they're cats and they're robots, so they were constantly being produced. And then there was also going to be an even more ridiculous, like, kind of spiritual, like dragon god was gonna end up showing up, kind of similar to Dragon Ball Z, because that's what I ended up growing up with, right? And that was gonna show up and like give my character power to like fight Yabaki, and it was gonna be a really good time. I had really good big plans for it, and then, well, ended up getting a bit too busy for all of it. I do still very much want to do like an official, well, my own official like lore just in a video, just kind of a quick little 5 minutes or under video that just kind of explains it in roleplay, where it's like, and then this happened, you know what I mean? But anyway, again, thanks so much for watching, everybody. Very much appreciate it. We are almost at 100,000 subs. I cannot even believe that. Got some crazy videos coming out later today that might or may not relate to that, so be sure to check those out. Don't forget to like, share, favorite, and subscribe for more daily content, though, folks. Sayonara, and stay epic.